This is someone I suspect who will be celebrating. The tourism industry is allowed to operate fully under level 2 lockdown. President Cyril Ramaphosa has lifted the ban on inter-provincial travel and accommodation, and hospitality venues are now allowed to function, but they must follow precautionary measures against COVID-19. The tourism industry has suffered major loss during lockdown. To discuss all this, I'm joined by Tshifhiwa Tshiv-hengwa from the Tourism Business Council of South Africa. A very good morning to you. What is your response to this move?
Good morning to you, Jane. I think this is a welcomed announcement by the sector. We have been anticipating this for the past few weeks as we have been lobbying for the opening of inter-provincial travel. You know, we first started with inter-provincial. Now we have full domestic travel with people moving from different provinces. And we welcome this, and we are aware that we need to do things the right way. We need to continue to practice the protocols that we've put in place, and we'll continue to intensify our efforts for everyone to adopt the protocols and use them. So it is welcome news. It will go a long way. It brings hope, and a whole lot more people are going to go back to work. And that, is positive news for them and their families as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for you and the people in the industry there, because I know that, tens of thousands of people have been affected. Is this too late, though, to save many businesses? I mean, how many do you think will still be collapsing under the weight of the lockdown?
Look, we have businesses that have already closed because they couldn't stand, over 140 days of no income. And majority of these businesses are small businesses, the SMMEs, and some of them are family-owned, some of them are youth-owned. They have already closed. We're going to have to restart these businesses. We're going to have to figure out a way of getting, working capital for them to come back to life. And we're going to have to do that collectively between ourselves and the public sector to ensure that we get those businesses back. However, you still have a lot of businesses that have cut their staff by between 50 and 80% because of lack of demand. And also their projections going forward, doesn't show that, the demand is going to pick up as fast as we would want it to pick up. So we still have a long road ahead, in terms of stimulating demand. We still have a long road ahead in terms of international inbound because the borders are still closed. Just to put figures into that, you have about 120 billion rand that comes through, with international, tourism. So with the borders closed, every day that the borders are closed, we lose around 336 million rand. So we need to look at it very closely and start to talk about countries that we can be, trading with in terms of tourism.
Have you been given a sense when that is likely to change? I mean, a realistic chance of opening?
Look, what we've done is that we've put down a date to say that September is the start of our peak season for international inbound. We need to look at that. And we need to start having discussion around that in terms of how do we do it safely? How do we ensure that, we put in, measures, for international travelers so that they don't come here and, spread, COVID, should their country have COVID. We have put together a plan as a private sector, and we believe that our plan will work for international inbound, and we believe that, we need to sit around the table with government and start to talk about international inbound, because it's a significant part of tourism. Domestic travel, as much as it's open, as much as we are not fully operational, a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are anxious. So therefore, a lot of people may not want to spend, in tourism. So we are quite aware that, we're going to face, a very, very hard road ahead. So it will be great if we can incorporate the international inbound from selected markets where the risk of infection in their own country is similar to us or lower than us. I believe that if we do that, we'll start to carefully, show the world that, we can be a trusted destination and people will be able to travel to this country.
So we've got to be wonderful. I should imagine the fear factor is quite a big one, isn't it, in getting people to get in their cars and go to hotels or small areas for a change of scenery. But I'm just wondering what sort of response you've had since this announcement was made. Have you seen an increase in online bookings? What areas do you think will benefit the most?
Well, the areas that are going to benefit the most are going to be, provinces that are, surrounding Gauteng, because Gauteng, as we all know, it's a small province. Majority of people cannot travel, could not travel outside of Gauteng. Now they can go to Limpopo, they can go to Northwest, they can go to Mpumalanga, Free State, and also to the Drakensberg region. So, these places can now open up, their facilities. Places like Sun City can now open, and many other resorts around the country can now open because of this move. So it's been positive, it's been welcomed, and I think it's going to go a long way in ensuring that, we have some sort of a sustainable industry going forward. We're still going to have a long way ahead. It's going to be bumpy. Trust is going to be the new currency for both domestic and international markets. And that is why we've been saying all along that, let us operate so that we can practice the protocols and showcase this to the world that, South Africa is travel ready. So it is important that we do this. It is important that we show the world, because everyone is going to be competing on trust. And remember, tourists have, options. We are not the only country that people need to travel to. As much as now for domestic, people are forced to stay here at home. Many people have had options to go to either, Mauritius, Thailand, or many other, destinations.
Tshifhiwa, so we're going to have to leave it there. Best of luck. Yeah. And it's going to be fantastic to get out and see other parts of the country.